So I put up a tweet over the weekend that I think someone might have a crush on me. First of all, thing to remember is it's just interesting to remember we initiated none of this. Like, we initiated none of this. We reported on the BSA story on Thursday night, and obviously we took the piss and we had a bit of fun and da-da-da-da-da, but we initiated none of this smoke. If Karen had have not responded to it, we wouldn't be talking about this today. But it got so bad for pancake batter, we had to address it tonight. So I'll give you an example. So this is there was, I think, 4 times on Friday that Mr. Plunket directly put me on his Twitter feed. And this is something I put out today. This is important to remember, right? I'll read it from my Twitter feed. There's one thing that's important to remember about this whole Karen Plunket versus the BSA. And I put I don't believe, because I don't like doing absolutes. Like, did I hint it somewhere maybe once? I don't think I did. I'm pretty confident saying we didn't, but I put I don't believe just in case. I don't believe at any point if we encouraged anyone to complain about the chat form. I quite like that. I came up this morning, the chat form. I don't believe at any point we have said the BSA is right here. This is a really important issue. We've never said that the BSA is right. I don't support the BSA in this. All we've said, this was a really interesting conversation, because much like when they went from horses on the road to cars on the road, a massive change in technology, the road rules weren't fit for purpose and they needed to be redone. And you know what? Someone at one stage would have been the first car on the road to come under the new rules, right? So I don't think this is actually Plunket will get anything from this. Like, I don't think they'll do anything to him. I really don't. But the thing that's amazing about this is the hypocrisy and the meltdown. The hypocrisy is adorable. So I don't believe at any point have we said that BSA is right. I don't believe at any point have we said the BSA has the right to police the internet. What we have done is covered the situation on Thursday night, laughed at Plunket's hypocrisy, and responded to his initial attack against us on Twitter. We also think this is a really interesting case to see if an internet radio station, which is clearly what the chat form is, comes under the BSA or not. And then I thought, people might want to know what I mean. A radio station runs programs 24 hours a day. A radio station has adverts, has news breaks, has weather. A radio station live streams through their own media platform that a listener goes to listen to. Platform does all those things. Newstalk ZB does all those things. Radio New Zealand does all those things other than the advertising. So that's why when you'll hear him saying these, wow, BHN, they're a radio station according to this. No. Because what do you do to listen to us? You look at us on demand on a podcast platform, or you come and see us live at 9 p.m. Monday to Friday. So it's nothing like the same thing. And this is this conversation about radio versus broadcast versus broadcaster. And we get into that as we go through the conversation. So Plunket, this is just a no fix order. You can see this is not a replay or a repeat. Dear Pat Brittenden, where can I lodge a complaint against you under the broadcasting standards regime? My response is just complaining to us, citing what you believe we have breached, what time and date it happened. Happy to take your thoughts. That's what I did for half the responses. Yep. Happy to take your comments, citing where we have spread disinformation, always prepared to correct errors. Complaints made via the website. Look forward to your detailed analysis. Well, Sean, you first need to send us your specific complaint, why you think we're in breach, citing date and time, contact details on the website. So they're all my responses. This image is Chewie's. This is Chewie's response, just pancake batter. That's Chewie's response. Another one, dear BSA, presume these you think these two are broadcasters. Really important, that word broadcasters. My response, oh yeah, that's where I said fair play. My response is somewhere. This is Twitter's such a rancid thing. My response is basically I said yes. Of course we're broadcasters. We are broadcasters. There is no question that we're not broadcasters. Yes, we are broadcasters. I'm not finding my response. It's not coming up. It's being a dick. So I just
allegedly, Platt said.
Allegedly, I did say it. But anyway, I said yeah. My response to that was yes. Actually, maybe he's done something, because actually what I said was yes. We are broadcasters like you. What you aren't anymore is a journalist. That was my response to this one, but it was a response to his. He said later on, if you don't like the rubbish on BHN, here's a way to get some satisfaction. And he retweeted, how to do it. And this is something else I did over the weekend, and I don't normally do this. I don't normally play the stats game or when people kind of questioned our credibility a few times, I put kind of the CV in there a little bit. I don't normally do that, but tonight, so someone says, might improve their viewership. 10 million views from August to August. We're okay with where we're at. No $2 million injection from a trust that washed taxpayers' money either. Just saying. We were having fun. I was having fun, Chewie. It was a lot of fun going on. And here's Chewie's favorite one. Dear BSA, is Pat Brittenden's podcast mate Chewie calling me a cunt in their latest program a breach of broadcast standards?
Look, chat, I just do what I do.
Now, let me give you the response, because there's actually an answer to this. I said, no, it's not, Oliver. The BSA takes into account what is expected from a broadcast, which is why the word fuck might be a breach on, I've put ZB, but think Radio Rema. Might be a breach on Radio Rema, because obviously the audience is not expecting that, whilst not being one on The Rock. And if you've ever watched our show, and we know you're a fan, Karen, calling you a cunt is both expected and accurate. And then happy to follow the process. So Sean's response to this was, flick me your email and the address of your lawyers.
Because he doesn't know how this works.
And I just said again, all contact details on the website, including your lawyers. All contact details are on the website. If you're looking for me to be concerned about you spending more of that cash you're short on some kind of slap suit, you are both mistaken and demonstrating the hypocrisy that we've mentioned many times, as you're then threatening to do to us what you're bitching about the BSA doing to you. That's our little spat done. But remember what this started off from, calling Chewie calling him a cunt. So then we start going through some of the comments. Suck it up, Buttercup. He's right, though. No, it's the truth. For a guy who likes to dish out dirt, you sure cannot take it when it comes to your way, fragile snowflake much. Honestly, it's not a breach. It is what it is. You are what you are. Does the truth hurt one? This is his Twitter feed, remember? This is his cesspit. This is where he's on. Surely it would be easy just not to be a cunt. Well, he's not wrong. Like, honestly, on and on and on and on and on it went. It was glorious. Chewie, actually, you had a little look. We're going to move into another part, which is him being a broadcaster, not a broadcaster on a radio station, not a radio station. Do you want to have anything to say about the? Honestly, I had so much fun. It used up far too much of my time over the weekend. It'll never happen again, but I had so much fun.
I was good because I don't want to get sucked back into Twitter again. But I'm not a perfect human being, right? I checked, and I got suckered in.
I told you would.
And yeah,
sorry,
Mrs.
Chewie. Sorry, Mrs. Chewie. Sorry, Mrs. Chewie.
Yeah. Dear BSA, Pat Brittenden's podcast mate Chewie calling me a cunt in their latest program of breach of broadcast standards. My reply to him. Firstly, it's Chewie, i.e. on the end. If you think it's in breach, submit a complaint. The email's on the website. But I can tell you it's not slander because you are one, and it's not defamation because everybody knows.
And it would be really funny if anyone, like, for example, if some kind of calling me this and took a place, I would just get his Twitter feed and go, wow, 75% of respondents agree with us. Might not be scientific, but it's societal research. Very funny. So there's two other parts about this. There's more than that, but I'll show you. One is that he straight away went into claiming that he's not a broadcaster. And he eventually settled on, I'm a webcaster, right? That's one of the things.
It's so lame.
Unfortunately for him, he still has on the platform, Sean Plunket is the founding editor of the platform and an award-winning veteran broadcaster and television presenter. His PR is calling himself a broadcaster. On his Twitter feed on Thursday, it said he was the founder and editor of the platform, 2024, Bill Toft Award winner, broadcaster, journalist, New Zealand. And then on Thursday, It said all those things, and on Friday it was changed to Webcaster. Now, people in his comments were defending him, going, "He's allowed to be a broadcaster in the past." And it was like, well, why did he change it then? If this was about his past job, why did he change it to Webcaster? Which was very, very funny. Chewie, could you do me a favor on your end? Could you go to, I've put it in the chat, I think. There's a link directly to the YouTube platform page, because I think there's also been some washing of the internet being done. And I'll show you why. There was, if you go to the platform homepage, unless it's just gone for me, right up here, like at the top of the homepage, there used to be a video. Does yours have a video on it? It might be stuck in my cache. I'm not sure.
No, I am seeing a video, how to fix our broken media.
Perfect. Okay, so that hasn't been washed. So that's this video here. Now, unfortunately for him, there's two things. This is when the platform started. Remember, not a broadcaster, other than all those things he claimed to be a broadcaster, not a radio station. Have a listen to this 20 seconds. This is part of the reel that they put out at the start of the platform, so 3 or 4 years ago. Oops. Here we go.
If they don't like what you say, you're cancelled. But now there is a place where you can resist, get and share views that are honest and real. It's talk radio. It's honest opinions.
What?
It's
I love this
free
shot
media.
of the office.
It's talk radio.
Oh, what?
Talk radio. Talk radio.
Oh. It's talk radio. Okay. 2 years after that, I think, he did this piece for whatever that group was called, the Common, whatever it is. Have a listen again. See if you can hear something here where then he was claiming they were, and now he's trying to run away from it.
2 years ago, I set up a new online media company called The Platform. It streams talk radio, long-form interviews, and sports even. We publish commentary and opinion pieces from a very wide range of writers. It streams talk radio, long-form interviews, and sports even. It streams talk radio, talk radio, talk radio, talk radio, talk radio.
Isn't that amazing? Like the two promotional reels, he said it was a radio station. He's trying to run around all over the place right now saying it's not a radio station. I'll let you be the judge. Chewie, there's some stuff you don't know about that I'm going to play now, and you are going to enjoy it. But is there anything you'd like to get on? And I've got some audio from today's show.
I'll save it to the end. I'll save it to the end because RNZ's Media Watch did a really good piece on this where they mentioned us as well as Plunket. Yeah, I don't know the date, but there's some clarification there that the BSA has put out in the past, so none of this should be a surprise.
Okay, so let's go and have a look at some audio. Oh, that's the one I've just played. Sorry. So let's start with this. I've got several clips, so I'll make sure that I get them in the right order. I might not get them in the right order. I'm not very smart. So that's one thing that can be confirmed tonight, Mr. Plunket. So this is from today's show. The BHN is in big trouble. Chewie.
Yeah, well, they're not going after Bomber when he talks about...
Well, isn't it? No, I think Bomber's covered because he's on Watau, which is covered by the BSA. I'll tell you the group, and I'm just thinking of the most irrelevant, crappy online thing.
Yep.
BHN, Big Hearing News.
Yep.
Big Hearing News is a broadcaster. Boy, would they be on decency and factuality.
We are broadcasters, correct. BHN is a broadcaster. That implies the company. And this is the thing with complaints. You complain to the company, the broadcasting company. A broadcasting company is different from a broadcaster. John Campbell is a broadcaster. TVNZ is a broadcasting company.
Wouldn't they have the largest number of complaints against them? Could I suggest that if anyone, Pete, sees anything online from the left they don't like, just write to the BSA and put a complaint in? Because they might then just say, oh, we think they're a broadcaster.
Just remember, we at no stage ever have suggested anyone complain about Plunket in this whole process. Just remember that when we go through this.
Pete, I hope.
How does average Joe? Let's say average Joe. And I'm just going to try and play this out. How does average Joe complain? Like, say if Bomber or one of the other guys says something, you're like, what a load of rubbish. Who holds them to account?
Well, they can say a load of rubbish. Pete, I hate people who complain.
What? I hate people who complain. Sean Plunket. What? Whilst you're encouraging people to complain. What? Hey, what? I don't understand this, Chewie.
Unless they've really been damaged or hurt. Maybe we just all need to build a bridge and get over it, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Just build a bridge and get over it, Chewie. Not everyone was happy with his conversation though. Like even some of his people message again were saying like, dude, be a big boy, get over it.
Sean, for a professional, I'm little saddened by your encouragement of your listeners to dob in another show. Oh, is it another show or isn't it? Is it a broadcast or not? I don't know. Sharon,
Yes. I mean, do I have to say this again? It is a broadcast. This is broadcasting. This is a show. I'll say it again. John Campbell is a broadcaster. TVNZ is the broadcasting company. Breakfast is a show. For someone who says he's been working in media for 140 years, if you don't quite understand what is a broadcast versus a broadcaster versus a broadcasting company, then I don't know how successful a broadcaster you ever really were.
was always told not to lower myself to someone else's level. And I know they called you the C word, but let that go, says Sharon. Sharon, would you let it go if someone called you the C word?
Yes. Yes, Sean, she would. Because she's not a little immature, sniveling, snidey little bitch. All right, this one's a bit longer, and this is probably the most important one that I'm going to play. Remember again, we have at no stage told anyone to do anything to Plunket. Plunket encourages the people listening to inundate us with complaints. Remember, he doesn't like people who complain, but he's telling his people to inundate us. He doesn't like people who complain, especially if it causes financial loss. What are you trying to do? You're trying to inundate us and have us spend more time doing it. You're trying to do to us what you're bitching about the BSA doing to you. In fact, you're trying to do worse because you had one complaint and you're trying to get your listeners to inundate us. Can we get to the hypocrisy yet? Do we have a hypocrisy button on the cart wall?
Sean, Big Hairy News is the worst show I've ever seen on YouTube.
That means we're the best. That means we're the best of the worst. That means we get the gold medal for the worst show. I'll take it.
Well, their broadcasters, if you don't like Big Hairy News, on their website is an address where you can lay a formal complaint under the Broadcasting Standards Authority with them. Now, how you do this, you go and you look at the codes of broadcasting standards. Balance, accuracy and fairness will get you there most of the time. So let's inundate Big Hairy News with formal BSA complaints. You've got to cite the area of standards that they've breached. They've got 20 days to get back to you and either uphold your complaint and apologise on air or put it right, or then you can go back to the Broadcasting Standards Authority or go to the Broadcasting Standards Authority and say you're not satisfied. So let's tie up Big Hairy News with BSA complaints. Let's see if they...
That's interesting why he's having such a crack. Because, like, other than reporting on what happened to him and passing some opinions and then responding to him on Twitter, I'm not saying this like, what have we done to him? Like, what have we done? We have done nothing actively to put anything in or on the platform. He is right now putting us actively, getting people to do to us en masse what he thinks has been done to him. There's some more of this to play to, but you're going to say something?
Just the full 180-degree turnaround of like, yeah, I'm going to be the bigger man and we're going to ignore it and all of that sort of stuff. And then just turn around. And I'm going to say this is unfair on our back office crew. Our legions.
Love you, Bree. Love you, Bree. Like that one, Chewie? Love you, Bree.
Oh, thank you. Our legions of unpaid interns that live in the crawl space in Pat's roof that have to answer these BSA complaints. That's really gonna break them, I think.
Well, I think on one thing, we'll get to the end of this clip because actually on one thing he is actually saying that it'll be sending us traffic, which is a good thing. We'll get to that in a minute.
You're a broadcaster, shall we? Could I suggest you get into that? You can complain on the grounds of... Oh, I've got it, actually.
Chewie, I hold you responsible for why he's got it. I hold you firmly responsible for this, Chewie.
They called me the C word. So you can complain to them on the grounds of decency. They also gave me no right of...
Did you notice he didn't say accuracy? You can complain on decency, but he didn't say accuracy because he knows. And he gave us no right to reply. Do you notice that he's not actually giving us no right to reply right now? Is hypocrisy again? Is that kind of coming out?
Reply. So balance and decency, you've got them on.
But not accuracy.
For calling me the C word
but
in
not
their
accuracy.
latest episode. Why not lodge a written complaint with them at their address, which is on their website, Big Hearing News? Oh, God, I know I'm driving so much traffic their way. They've only got about 20 bloody listeners. Should I be doing... Oh, I don't care.
20,000.
They're on the sickness Benny anyway. So you can complain to them. Then they've got 20 days. Let's make life difficult for the wokesters, shall we?
So
what fun. What fun.
Just quietly, this is the other thing about this. And what I love about you guys in this community is when we ask for you to respond to something, let's say it's raising money for maps, it goes off like a robber's dog. Do you want to have a guess how many complaints we got, Chewie? Inundated, driving people to inundate. Sean's audience, he's got the power. Inundated.
I kind of saw where you're going with this, and I jumped into our email account, so I know the answer. It's
one, and I've already responded to it in an incredibly polite return, explaining why it doesn't work. Said to them, happy to hear your thoughts. Thank you for sharing with me. Thank you for being a part of it. Always happy to hear from people who have genuine concerns. And I send it off. And you know what I'm not doing? I'm not saying the person's name, like Plunket did about his complainer. I'm not broadcasting anything about them. And I'm not going, you fuckwit. We're not part of the BSA, you fuckhead. No, I responded to it. I gave them a response. They may not be happy with the response, but I gave it to them. There's only a couple of things left, Whānau, I promise. This is some more about what he's planning or attempting to do to us, about tying up our time and stuff. Remember, this is him to his audience.
That's got nothing to do with some lefty complaining to another bunch of lefties at the BSA and tying the platform up in red tape and lawyers forever in a bloody day. Because that's what would happen. That's what they want to do with these procedures and with these bodies. They want to take out the people they philosophically don't agree with.
So he says that this one complainant is trying to take out the people they philosophically disagree with, like it's a bad thing, whilst he's actively holding a campaign to his listeners to take out us, a group, who he philosophically disagrees with. One more thing. And Chewie, if we were going to do a complaint, which we're not, we could do this one. How about a straight out lie, not just by Plunket, by one of his audience as well?
Sean, Big Hearing News have wished for your death. Yeah, I think they've asked for me to die. They have all those done this to others like Seymour.
What?
Well,
no, I know what it is. When he said, I would rather die on my knees than live on die on my feet than live on my knees, and we repeated that. That's the only thing it can be. So repeating what he said about dying on his feet or on his knees or whichever it was, that'll be the only thing they can point to. So that's inaccurate. That's either a lie or something that needs to be corrected on the record, because that's not true. You want to say something before I push play again?
I even remember you wishing him well after his heart attack.
Did I? What was wrong with me? Was I on drugs or something?
No, we were being just normal human beings. That this internet beef is hilarious, but I would wish death on someone.
And the beef is nearly over.
Where's the proof?
This is the problem now. This beef is over, right? He won't be able to let it go. Now, because he's continued this on, what we have actually done is we have given when I say given, I don't mean we have delivered or emailed or sent or told, but we've given the BSA more information for them to make a determination. We've found him referring to himself as running a radio station. They probably didn't have that before the complaint, but because he had to have a crack and come back, and I've said this before about other things, you do not want this smoke. You think that you are down and dirty in the gutters with, you are not. You do not want this smoke. Last bit, finish up this bit about him saying that we've wished to his death or something.
You now have, according to the Broadcasting Standards Authority, Big Hairy News are a broadcaster.
No. Big Hairy News is not a broadcaster. And this is the misinformation that's going around. Big Hairy News is not a broadcaster. Big Hairy News is a show. Like Breakfast on TVNZ. Breakfast is not a broadcaster. Big Hairy News is not a broadcaster, and it's not what the BSA has said. This is and I'm going to say misinformation because I'm actually being generous. If he's not 100% clear, BHN is a show. Pat and Chewie, I'm happy to call myself a broadcaster. I do all the time. I say not journalists. I say do work in the field of journalism sometimes, do journalistic type work, not a journalist, because I think that comes with qualifications, like a letter after your name. Am a broadcaster, am a commentator, am a YouTuber, whatever else you want to put. But no, they have not decided that Big Hairy News is a broadcaster because there's no definition anywhere. Even if this show was on mainstream radio, like if there was a weekend show on News Talk ZB, you wouldn't say Big Hairy News is a broadcaster. No, it's a show. Pat and Chewie are broadcasters. As long as you're comfortable with that label, Chewie, I don't care really, one way or the other. But that's what I call myself. Yep. All right. Well, let's just get to the end of this because he does say one more thing about radio, and I just want to correct the record because it's wrong and it's being spread around like it's right.
The Broadcasting Standards Authority, Big Hairy News, are a broadcaster.
No.
Let's inundate them with official BSA complaints, and let's see how the BSA handles that. Let's see if the BSA sends them a letter. And actually, I'm going to ask the BSA today, I'm going to make a formal question. Is Big Hairy News a broadcaster?
No, it's a show.
Looks like a radio station.
No, it doesn't.
What do you reckon,
No, it
BSA?
doesn't.
What do you reckon?
And this is what he's saying. And you're seeing around, I was going to say the Motu, the internet Motu, around the internet, they're going to regulate everything on the internet. They're going to regulate Twitter. And actually, go and look at Paul Barlow. Paul Barlow does a good clip on this already explaining that. They've already stated, the BSA has already stated things like Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube do not come under the BSA. What they're saying is the platform, Reality Check Radio will be the same. That's why they're in solidarity with the platform right now. Looks and feels like a radio station, as I said at the start. They have 24 hours of programming. They have adverts. They have weather and news at the top of the hour. They have call-ins. Now, in and of themselves, any of those one things doesn't mean broadcaster, but when you put them all together, they look like, they feel like, they operate like a radio station. On top of that, Sean Plunket himself, up until about last Thursday, talked about doing talkback radio. So the huge difference is this is not a threat to your TikTok account or to your the comments and through. From here on in, every political party is going to be a broadcaster because they do live streams. No.
Oh
no.
God.
We don't look like a radio station. We look like if I wanted to be generous, we look like if you're watching us on YouTube, we look like a television show. You could say that. We don't look like a broadcaster. Broadcasters don't look like this, Chewie. Maybe should I show that video again of us taking our tops off? That's not what broadcasters look like. Okay, I'm done, sir. I know that took a long time, but it was well worth it. It was well worth it, at least for no one else but for me. Numbers haven't dropped, so you guys, all 20 of you, you said 20, we've got 20.
Like, we really covered ourselves in, it's not glory, covered ourselves in something talking about this. The reason that we've latched onto it is it's hilarious. And Sean's just a terrible person. Just a dreadful, dreadful person.
Can I just say one thing? Sorry, I just want one thing because I'm just bouncing off what you've said. Keep your thought, because my wife looked at me today and she basically said, "Are you enjoying this a bit much?" And I'm like, "Yeah, probably." Yes. But I said to her, "You know what? This is us putting a bully in their place. He's a fucking bully. He's a bad man when it comes to broadcasting and information dissemination. And this is and the worst thing an authoritarian bully, the worst thing they hate, is that the right way? Double negative? The thing they hate most of all is being mocked. This is us putting him in his place. Now, he might hear this and go, "Oh, you didn't put me in my place." No. This is us putting him in his place. That's why that Twitter feed where he complained about Chewie calling me a cunt, 3/4 of the response was going, "Yeah, because you're a cunt." So let's not get it twisted. Yes, if you're watching, sweetheart, I probably am enjoying this a little bit too much, but on the grander scheme of things, this is us kicking a bully in the nuts. You know, honestly, it's just like, and Plunket, if you continue this on, mate, there's more. There's more.
Yeah, who's punching up? Here, it's us.
Well, we might be punching down. Who knows, really?
On RNZ's website, the Media Watch post that they did yesterday, I believe, covered it off really well. 2019, BSA sent out a letter to broadcasters. And in it, they say programs that are transmitted online in a linear form, i.e. playing continuously, are broadcasting and not on demand. So we don't broadcast continuously.
Correct.
A couple of hours every night. Programs that are live streamed by a company over the internet for reception by the general public in New Zealand fall within the definition of a broadcast. Examples that they cited at the time were music channel Edge TV and subscription service Spark Sport, but the platform, which launched in 2021, would also meet those definitions. Yep. At the time, the BSA says the Act does not apply to content provided purely on demand. User-generated content placed on platforms like YouTube or Facebook could not be considered broadcasting, subject to their oversight, and neither would podcasts available for download online. Like, that seems really clear to me. And, rather than it being an attack on democracy and free speech, and I'm going to fight them on the beaches and on the landing fields, and this is our Independence Day and all of that. Like, we're commenting on it because it's an interesting conversation that involves us as broadcasters.
It's a really interesting conversation. The actual the summation of the actual thing is about, does these broadcasting standards apply in a new way, just like the road rules changed when you went from horses to cars? It's actually a really interesting conversation. Remember, we said last thing, two things can be true. It's going to be a really interesting conversation that needs to be adjudicated, probably by a government level, and he can be a whinging crybaby bitch who's overplaying his hand. Those two things can be true.
And let's be really clear here, because when I trained in broadcasting and radio, one of the things that had recently happened is someone lodged a BSA complaint against Mikey Havoc and Newsboy.
Sounds about right.
This is going back to the late 90s, early 2000s. But they did a piece that besmirched Gore's reputation.
Oh, my God.
Gay man's rock, dirty, gay old Gore.
I remember that.
Who remembers that? If you don't, it's on YouTube. Go and look it up. But someone put through a BSA complaint about that. And basically the response came back. Everybody knows what Mikey Havoc's show is about. It's about irreverence, ironic humor. It's crass. You don't accidentally stumble into this. And in the time slot that it was on, people know what they're going to get. And this is why, as Pat has mentioned, The Rock might be able to get away with more shit talking, different language, being irreverent than a different outlet would. So our running jokes with Oliver, I look, if there's a legitimate complaint in there, we'll take them. I've seen the complaint that's come in, the one complaint that came in.
The thing that's best about that is they watched that episode so closely. So we got another view out of it, and they watched it so closely. And they said things like, I'm not going to highlight it. They said things like, talked about there being a genocide with no evidence. It's not balanced. And it's like, oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah. And again, what has crushed me about that is it actually about Emily and Magenta, not us.
Yeah,
So we're not going hard enough on the Israelis, who are definitely doing a great big obvious genocide.
Oh gosh,
Apparently I should cite my sources.
Yeah. I think the sources for that are the dead bodies under the rubble still to this day, I think, and the killing of everything green, so nothing can grow there. There's two sources, two sites.
They blew up a literal bus full of children yesterday.
Yeah, it's back on. Didn't we say last week? Extreme.
Why aren't you
optimism?
celebrating Trump's peace? The Trump's peace. Yeah. Why aren't you saying anything about it? Wait and see.
Yeah, we'll pick that up tomorrow.
Not even 12 hours.
We'll pick that up tomorrow. It's much more important than what we're talking about, but we'll pick it up tomorrow.
But anyway, like a bowl of pancake batter left out on the bench in the sun too long.
So here's what I would like.
Just glad wrap it.
Here's what I would like. I would like an honest conversation. If you're someone who's here tonight because of Plunket and you want to have a crack, this will be a highlight tomorrow. It'll be on YouTube as a highlight. Play this to some of your platform friends and find the holes in our argument. I mean, yeah, we've been a bit crass and a bit rude and a bit dirty and a bit smutty, and sure, but the actual substance of what we've said, tell us our holes. That sounds a bit rude. Oh, tell us where we're wrong.
Like that.
No, neither do I. I went back.
I tuned into Big Hairy News at 10:25 p.m. on Monday, and they were talking about their holes.